Welcome, everybody. Glad we can all get together again on a video. I have a great topic to talk about today. I'm going to talk about 3 red flags of dating. This has been like a big concern for lots of people these days, and I just want to make a video about it. Just throw out a few things for people to think about, and just more or less from my own experience and from the experience of my friends and stuff. And we're all here to support each other. We're all here to find good common threads to incorporate into our lives to make our lives smoother and, more effective. Definitely more effective. So, let's see. I want to say hi to Kelly and Linda and Jamie. Hey, how's it going? Dominic. Everybody's here. Very good. Okay. One thing that a lot of people, why are you out dating? A lot of people start at square one. Maybe they haven't dated in a while, or their life circumstances have changed, or they've moved, or they're in a new town, and they need to see if they can find a person to have a relationship with, that's local around where they're at, or might be more convenient than anything they've had in recent times. So one of the first things you're going to notice is you're probably going to admire the person on some level. And we date people we think are nice, that we date people that we admire, and these are the things we're looking for in somebody. We don't want somebody mean. So we're going to see compelling behaviors that are going to make us, on some level, wonder about the person. And maybe they have a really fit body, and that inspires wonder. Or maybe you're impressed with their mind, and it arouses respect, and you're compelled to know more about this person. But one way or another, maybe they have a list of impressive, admirable, achievements. This brings us to the first red flag that I want to bring up. 3 red flags today. First red flag is the whale. I'll also bring up the squid, and I'll bring up the minnow. The whale, the squid, or the minnow. Watch out for these 3 red flags. We're going to start with the whale. This is somebody with impressive achievements. You've took notice. You've seen something that you like. So you are going to want to know more about them. You're going to want to, feel a connection with this. But the whale is too impressive to be relatable. That's the problem with the whale. If their impressiveness is on such a high level that they go to restaurants you're never going to be able to afford to go to, if they are having an athletic ability and they're going to athletic events or running marathons or doing some kind of competitive thing that's traveling a lot, and you just don't have the lifestyle to be able to be in that same sphere of things, you're not going to relate to that. It's going to be very difficult. It's just, these are red flags. These are not necessarily deal breakers, but a red flag is something that you got to realize there's going to have to be an adjustment You're going to have to adjust. They're going to have to adjust. Is this whole adjustment thing going to be too much burden on the new budding relationship that's just getting going? So the whale is the first red flag. This is someone who is, as I said, too impressive to be relatable. There are always circumstances that are going to be outside the norm, and those are wonderful stories. But for the general whole middle section of the population, we're lucky just to meet people in our area that we like and we can hang out with and have a life with. This is the average story of the average American. So on that baseline, a red flag is to be wary or aware of the situations where you're going to be involved with someone who is a whale. They are so impressive in their own ocean of things that you might not relate to their day-to-day lifestyle of being in that ocean of environment. You may not like having to be out in the salt spray in the ocean and the waves and the storms, and they might love it because they're a whale. That's where they love the ocean. So it's sort of a figurative way of saying things, in a more poetic way of saying things, but essentially that's the thought to keep in mind for red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 is the squid. Squid. Now, what's the deal with a squid, you might say? Which I'm sure you are saying. Well, a squid is too smart to be fun. Now, this is not a deal breaker. These are just red flags to watch out for. I'm not saying these are deal breakers. But when a person is so good and smart and well-read in a certain subject or genre or in a certain circle of people, and they know the lingo and they know the terminology, this might not be a fun situation for someone who is not so fluid with that kind of terminology or that kind of, atmosphere. So one thing that can happen is, to be fun is a whole different way of looking at things. When you're very smart about something, you know names, you know numbers, you know facts and interrelated stuff, and you've got the whole schema. When it comes to fun, it's less structured. Fun is more about amusement, and amusement is finding things funny, finding things that are pleasant, things that are easygoing and help you to relax and help you to unwind a bit. And often that can be almost at odds with a smart conversation or a smart dialogue about things, or coming to an understanding about things, or having discussions about things. And there's always a time and a place to do that. But often that sort of putting things under the microscope, so you might say, is not really often go well with having fun. So the squid is number 2. That's a person that's too smart to be fun. And of course, fun shouldn't be all the time, but Mr. Smarty Pants shouldn't be all the time either. Everyone gets tired of a know-it-all, because it should be more give and take in communication. Even if someone is well read on something, there should always be incorporating other people's points of views. And that will help bridge the communication gap in a situation. So there is hope for that particular red flag. If one person can possibly, pardon me, communicate in a more give and take way, and another person can be more fun, excuse me, in a more pleasant, using pleasant humor, more playful and forgiving way. There's one thing to be mischievous with a sense of humor. And then there's another being absurdity, laughing just at absurdity. Excuse me. So there's a lot more hope for that red flag if both parties are willing to work at it. With the whale, it's a little different situation because that's someone who's just, their lifestyle is almost incompatible. They're so too impressive to be relatable because, there's not a compatibility there. Too smart to be fun, the squid, on the other hand, is someone who might not understand that there's a problem. But once they do understand, there might be a workable solution there. Red flag number 3, the minnow. The minnow is interesting. The minnow is a situation where it's someone that's too helpless to be beneficial. A minnow is too helpless to be beneficial. They are a victim. They might be a victim of something that happened to them, or they might be a victim because they like being a victim. There are those kind of people out there. They don't ever seem to heal. That is a big issue with this red flag of being the minnow. Often a person who is too helpless to be beneficial in the sphere of dating is a person that maybe they lost their driver's license and they're struggling to get it back. If they're not taking definitive steps to get their legal issues straightened out, their legal issues are probably not going to get straightened out. My filming just jammed up for a second. Sorry about that. There's also a situation with disabled people. Often a disabled person is unable to do physical things. In a situation like that, one person has got to do more cleaning and more janitorial work, but that's for the home itself. Often a disabled person has difficulty grooming themselves because of their disability. They don't function and move around as well. So this is another one that's workable, another red flag that's workable. It's a matter of being able to have the conversations about what is the limits of possibility with getting to a compatible level of interaction with this person. So the minnow, when they are too helpless to be beneficial, they're not being beneficial to the relationship. They might be able to be beneficial for themselves, but often a person that is too helpless to be beneficial often is not even helping their own self. So there's different levels of this red flag. If a person is merely disabled and they can't, maybe they need a pedicure and a manicure. Maybe they have to just do that once a month and have them, certain aspects in a way relieved of their need to look presentable, or if they have somewhere they have to go and they get their hair done and, get a cut and get a little bit of a styling or some highlights or something. And this might need to be done by, a hairstylist or something. If a person is in a situation where they're helpless, often the helplessness is financial. Being financially helpless is very difficult. And in a dating situation, this is kind of a deal breaker because we all have to just take care of ourselves. And there has to be a certain level that you have to be responsible to be a responsible party in a partnership. If you yourself are not responsible, there's no way you're going to be responsible in a relationship for each other. Often one person is a strength, like I said before, they have a sense of humor, and the other person is good with $10 words, and together they can work those sort of differences out through getting used to each other and making an effort to communicate. When it comes to helplessness, this is a proactive issue. Is the person proactively helping themselves so as to be beneficial to themselves? Then the further level of this is, are they able to proactively be beneficial for the relationship? So there are steps to go on in this sort of a red flag that needs to be looked at to see if there is, a deal breaker situation, or is this a workable situation? So there you have it. That's our 3 red flags for dating. We're going to watch out for the whale, who is too impressive to be relatable. We're going to watch out for the squid, who is too smart to be fun. And we're going to watch out for the minnow. The minnow is too helpless to be beneficial. Okay, and now I am going to answer a few questions. What is the biggest turnoff in dating? Oh man, that could be a million different things. Each person's disgust level is different. What is the biggest turnoff in dating? I think more what I'm interpreting this question as is that initial first date. Okay, the initial first date, or possibly even like a dating app. I'm sorry, I'm itchy. I was outside and my face is very itchy. It's spring here in Southern Illinois. One thing I've noticed on dates, my husband died 2 years ago, and I've been on, a few dates here and there. I don't smoke cigarettes. And the minute someone sits down, they just smell like cigarettes. Their clothes, their whole body smells like cigarettes. To me, I don't personally like that because I don't smoke. That's the sort of thing you probably want to be aware of. If you're going on a first date and you just got off work, you probably want to shower and put clean clothes on. You've been working all day. You might not smell construction debris on your clothing, or paint you've been painting, but the other person's probably going to smell the paint on your pants, I would say also dog and cat hair on your clothing. Pardon me. Dog and cat hair is a big turnoff. Now, this is for me personally. I know some people love dogs, they love cats, and maybe that's something that would bond you together, that you have all these pets together. More power to you. I'm not a pet person. I don't have pets. I travel a lot, and I don't have time for a pet. I would say another thing, what is biggest turn off in dating? Another thing is probably being out of shape. The best thing you could ever do for yourself, especially myself, I'm over 50. Pardon me. One of the best things anybody can do for themselves is exercise every day. It's not going to get you, to look like a supermodel or something, probably. That requires 4 or 5 hours of dedicated weightlifting every day, strength training, working with a physical trainer. There's a lot involved that people who are actors and models and stuff go through every day. It's a very dedicated food regime. They constrict their food down, but just generally being in shape, walking every day, walk around your block, just go to a park and walk around the park. It's usually easier if it's near your house and you can just, have a little road that's a nice little quiet road. It's best to walk where there's not a lot of traffic if you can. I would say the biggest turnoff in dating, one of them is just being out of shape. That would be one of my biggest helpful hints that I could give people for dating. Okay, moving on to the next question. Best things to improve oneself. Well, this is just what I was just talking about. Okay. Well, one thing, the way that I do it, I'm not saying this is the only way, but the way I do is I have a birthday wish list. My birthday wish list is what I want to do for the next year, who I want to be, what I want to accomplish, what I want to just perfect maybe. I'm a musician and I like to play songs. So often I will be like, I want to perfect like 2 or 3 songs this year. I'm just an amateur musician. And so maybe it's a few Christmas songs that I want to do with my grandkids, or, the neighbor kid over here, he likes that song, Thunderstruck. He's crazy about that song. He knows the whole lead part. So just set yourself a goal that you're going to practice on a regular basis, maybe every weekend, once a week, once a month, on a regular basis for your birthday wish list. I usually set a goal weight for my body. I usually set a goal of how many books I want to read. I usually set a goal of like the vitamins and supplements. I like royal jelly, but you got to be careful with that. It's my new kick. I do take omega-3, 6, and 9. I take vitamin D, multivitamin. But one thing I take black cohash when I have a little bit of hot flashes and stuff. But royal jelly I feel it's for people with long COVID. I've heard a lot about this royal jelly. It's a product that bees make. It's sort of like a type of honey that they feed the queen. And when I take it, it does make my sense of smell so much stronger. I guess that's what it does for the bees. Makes their sense of smell stronger. But you have to be careful because then your disgust level is going to go up the better you smell. And, I live around a lot of farms and cow farms and, wild pig farms and chicken farms. And, and the smell, normally I'll drive by and I'm just like, roll up the windows. But when you're very sensitive to smells, that could be an issue, depending on what you have to get done. So I usually do that. I have a birthday wish list. Best things to improve oneself. Another one is a saying, and we are going to try to get this support group going on Patreon. Hopefully, we are working on how to get the video thing going because my friend lives in another state, and we want to try to work out a video with her and I both talking on the topic of dieting and food planning and how to, be fit in life, and how her and I have struggled and how we support each other and that sort of thing. So we'd like to get that going. But one key nugget that I like to keep in mind to improve myself is called Just Eat Half. I used to have an old country doctor when I was probably like 20, 21 years old. He was a Korean war vet. So he was a really old guy. He was such a good old country doctor, man. I really, really liked him a lot. And I would always tell him, I feel chubby. I want to lose weight. It's so hard. I have no discipline. I have so little discipline when it comes to controlling what I eat. I don't keep it in my house. I don't allow potato chips in my house because I'll just eat them. I have to be very careful what I allow in my house. But his favorite saying was, just eat half. And excuse me. And I didn't quite sorry, I've had a cold for a couple weeks now, and it is still lingering. Sorry, I'm still sick, but I'm going to try to make some videos here. I just stick with me if you can. So my country doctor would say, just eat half. The other half, put it away, throw it away, or give it away. Just eat half. The other half, put it away, give it away, or throw it away. So you never have to eat more than half of what you're looking at. And I think this was very beneficial for me. Growing up, my parents would say things like, well, you have to finish everything on your plate. But they would give me a great big adult-sized portion of food on my plate. I come from Polish people, and they'd pile it on, And I had to get that out of my mind. Just eat half. I don't have to eat that great big huge adult-sized portion. I'm only 5'6". I'm kind of a small little person, so I don't need great big portions of food. So that has helped me improve myself and improve my way of thinking, especially about eating and diet and whatnot. So best things to improve oneself, I would say my advice would be the birthday wish. Make a birthday wish list. And if it's not your birthday, just do it now till your birthday comes. Do it today. Write it down today. Do it. Write that list of things that you want to get done between now and your birthday. And then when your birthday comes, revisit the list. And I hope that helps somebody. I really hope all this just is helpful. I'm no expert. I'm just trying to, put in good information out as I come across it. And I appreciate you listening, and I appreciate your time. And that's pretty much going to be the end of it for today. Let me see what my time is up to. We're about up to a half an hour. Okay, so I'm going to sign off and get this up and posted. Yep. Okay. Yep. All right. We will see you later. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.